Tasdeeq and Iqrar. You have both, which means you testify from the bottom of your heart and also you make the declaration. The third thing I said is التصديق بالجنان والإقرار باللسان والعمل بالجوارح والأركان. Or the other smaller definition that I gave you, al-imanu qawlun wa amal. You made a declaration, but there's nothing to prove, substantiate that you are walking the talk, which means there is no amal. Someone who's made that declaration doesn't go for Hajj. Someone who's made that declaration doesn't give zakat, although he has to give zakat because he reaches that nisab, and he doesn't fast any in the month of Ramadan. Neither, because of his poor health, he gives out fidya in order to expiate the fastings, nor does he go for salah, any salah for that matter. So there is no action, there is no amal, there is nothing that he is doing in order to establish what is saying. So what do you say about such people? Because we talked about the other two, someone who has iman in their heart and does not make a declaration, someone who does not have anything in their heart and makes a declaration. We've talked about the two. What about the third person who definitely has these two and does not want to do anything as far as his actions or righteous deeds are concerned? This is where, streams like these, or education like this, or for that matter, aqidah or imaniyat comes into picture. This is why iman is so very important. This is why learning aqidah is so very important, which is what happens, when you see people, say for that matter, the Jamia Islamia or the various other universities, not just in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, throughout the Islamic world, various universities that teach various disciplines of Islam. People teach al-aqidah, people teach al-mustalahat, people teach al-usul, people teach al-adyan, people teach al-firaq, people teach, tafasir, and people teach jurisprudence, fiqh, etc. All those things fall under the very ambit of al-iman. And then we study all this for about 4 years a minimum, and that's what we do. All the things that we study in these jamias, in these universities, is something pertaining to al-aqidah. And I said, while you have those two intact and the third is missing, the person doesn't really want to do anything as far as his righteous deeds are concerned. This is where a lot of factions have started to form. Al Khawarij, wal Jahmiya, wal Mu'tazila, wal Ashaira, wal Maturidi. These factions have all differed in this one single thing, al A'mal. Yeah, so which is why it is important for us. For instance, now Al Khawarij would say, if you do not have any righteous deeds, then you're not a Muslim. Wal Murji'ah, on the other hand, say la yadurruhu faqdul amal, which means if a person does not do any righteous deeds, so long as he has these two things intact, yeah, testification from the heart and declaration from the mouth, if he has these two things in the heart, he doesn't have to do any righteous deed, he's still a Muslim. This is what the al-murji'ah say. So which is why we would like us to study the aqidah, the religion of Islam, in so much depth, in order for us to know where we stand, and in order for us to be able to walk that tight rope which was walked not just by the Prophet ﷺ, also by the companions of the Prophet ﷺ and their students, and so many of us Muslims as well, inshallah ta'ala. So which is why we must learn what iman actually is.